you, Dr. Gupta, again. Welcome, everyone, to this town hall meeting. In town hall meeting, there will be 4 items we would like to discuss with you. One, I will first outline the work that we need to do for the next 2 years. And then I will introduce all the council members. And then the 5 subcommittee members, chairman will each take turn to present their work plan. And lastly, the Q&A. All right. So let me go to the main outline of the ALMU for the new term 2020 to 2022. In the article that we have published earlier, so I just put some of the summary here. First, the membership growth. This is to us the fundamental and the most important in one of the things we need to do. So you'll hear more from the subcommittee. How are we going to achieve it in terms of enhancing the value, organize more activities aligned with what the members needs. And our target is to grow from the current membership to 200 by end of the term. The next key pillar will be the technical competencies. This is obviously one of the major activities of which 3 subcommittees will be working on that to improve and provide a broad range of knowledge for our members and look out for any of the accredited education courses and also the enhance the technical programs and also sharing this with our Asian markets, including China. The third pillar will be the sustainable future. Something that we all know about this in terms of climate change. Despite the difficulty that we have in the current environment, we cannot lose sight on this very key component of that will affect our business. So the association will be looking at becoming a place to where we will put in the necessary resources and knowledge to be behave as a sociable, responsible, collective association. And at this stage, for the next 2 years, our focus will be on driving on awareness of this climate change and investing in the foundation for the future term of councils to work on. Last but not least, due to this peculiar situation we are in, the pandemic, so we will, again, we will mention all these extension of membership, helping the member to continue to stay with us. We'll hear more later. And the other thing we could work on is to identify some programs that we could reduce costs by sharing some of the information or procurements together with the member needs without any of conflict. So these are the 4 main pillars or key work plan that we want to do for the next 2 years. Now I'd like to introduce the council members, but before that, we would like to I'd like to introduce Vicky and Steve, the 2 founding directors. I think I do not have to speak more about what their background, but really I think we need to send our appreciation for both of them having the vision and the courage to set up this organization to put in the resources to where we are today. So thank you, Vicky and Steve. So myself, my name is Pai Kok. Currently, I'm with Total Oil based in Singapore. I'm the chairman for the new term. So with me, there are 9 council members working for the ALMU. Let me introduce them one by one. The first is our Dr. Gupta. Currently, he's our vice chairman. He's based in India. The second one is our second vice chair, Mr. Huang. He's with PetroChina based in China. And David, our third vice chair, with Master Fluid based in America. We have 6 more members. Dr. Ho. Dr. Ho is our immediate past chairman. So I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Ho again for bringing the association to today. So Dr. Ho is our current term council member. The next one is Shamini. She's with BP and based in Singapore as well. Muku, based in Bangladesh. Miss Mia with Pertamina based in Indonesia, Kisu, SKU lubricant based in Korea, and last but not least, Yuming is the Gulf Oil with the Gulf Oil Marine based in Singapore. So these are the 9 council members that were elected in June for the new term. Before I hand over to subcommittees, I'd like to introduce the 5 subcommittees chairmen. These are the group that will, together with you, working out all the necessary activities that require us to move forward based on the 4 pillars I mentioned earlier. On the top left is Ms. Mia. Currently, she's a chairman for the membership committee. And then for the professional development, we have 2 co-chair, Dr. Ho, as well as David. Shamini, she's the chairperson for the governance, best practice, and international relations. Dr. Putta, he's the chairman for the technology and information. Last but not least, Alex, he's the chairman for the events and activities. So with this, I would like to invite each and every one of the chairperson to present the activities that they have planned for the members. Thank you. Shamini?
Yes. Hi. Thank you very much, Chairman. Right. So I will be presenting on behalf of Ms. Mia for today. Within the subcommittee for the membership lineup, we've got Mrs. Mia and Mr. Charles Champion. They've done a lot of work with regards to putting forward a comprehensive plan for the membership committee, and a lot of this was done with the feedback that was obtained through the membership survey that was undertaken not long ago. So thank you very much for your input. Now, at present, we've got 130 members, of which 62 are ordinary independent manufacturers. You've got 12 who are within the affiliate and honorary category. You've got 37 suppliers and 19 who fall within the oil and major national oil company space. We've got a range of membership fees between the ordinary membership fees and the associate membership fees. And I think that's fairly self-explanatory. We can move on to the next slide. Right. We've also taken the liberty of amending the bylaws, particularly Article 7.1 and 7.2. With 7.1, where reference to marketing or distributing company has been included, so that there's a wider scope of and a wider reach. 7.2, we've amended it to include companies that have a lubricants-based subsidiary and a substantial lubricant shareholding within the organization. So again, this hopefully would enable more organizations to be part of ALMU. Next, please. Moving on to membership benefit. There are 4 elements to the membership benefit. I'll start with the business networking and promotions element. You've got complimentary and discounted registration fees for various ALMU events and activities, access to ALMU members' contact details, and also it serves as a business promotion platform. There will be a web-based networking forum which will allow members to network virtually. Within the learning space, as you already are aware, we've been conducting web-based learning seminars and certification courses. There will also be access to knowledge-based services and member-to-member live sharing. I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight one bit. So one person from a member is entitled to join free, whilst the second person will need to pay $20. So that's on the learning piece. With the member-to-member sharing sessions, really, it's about sharing practical issues within the industry, and I think this is meant to be a very organic sharing session. Moving on to resources and support, there will be a section that's purely dedicated for members only, where you'd have member survey data, presentation recordings uploaded so that you can have access to it anytime. Database services for members, and you've also got virtual meeting room access and secretarial support at the Executive Center, and I'm given to understand that this is provided at a discounted rate. Last but not least, advocacy and industrial partnership. With the advocacy and industrial partnership, with the advocacy piece, we'll be pursuing issues that will benefit the entire industry. For example, enhancement of lubricant standard in Asia, and addressing managing complexity of the trade within the industry. And this will be, and we hope to update in due course. And also bridging partnership with related industries such as OEMs. Next, please. We've also come up with a members rewards program. It's one that is easy to track, so you get instant rewards and redemption at member login page. It's transferable to a member or a team in your organization. Easy to redeem, so you can redeem it against any of the learning events should you need to. And how do you get the rewards? Well, contribute to a discussion forum, share your knowledge in the industry. So the more you contribute, the more you share, you get more points. We've all come up with a member referral program. So the referrals membership fee needs to be fully paid in the first instance, and 20% is deducted from the membership fee for a member who successfully recruits a new member. There is a referral cap of 5 new members. And the applicable period for this starts from October 2020 to September 2021. How to get the most out of your benefits? Well, register other team members in your organization, and this is for free. That's the best news. Actively participate in ALMU events and discussion forums, and share that within the industry so that gains more traction. The more you share, the more you benefit. And I think the organization is driven by the participation of the members. So as you can see with the presentations that you get from the other subcommittees, there's been a fair bit of activities, even in the midst of COVID. And I think there's more to be gained by active participation. Thank you. I'd now like to hand it over to David, who's the co-chair for Professional Development Committee. Over to you, David.
Thank you, Sharmini. Appreciate it. Yes, I'm honored to represent our Professional Development Committee this morning. First and foremost, I'd like to recognize Chairman Ho and his contributions to the committee, along with all of the other members that you see listed here. I think if we move on and look at the purpose, the goals, and the scope of work that the Professional Development Subcommittee is working on, first and foremost, we want to promote the knowledge exchange, building of trade expertise, and social responsibility in the lubricant industry. That includes developing educational opportunities and other workshops and forums where members can improve their professionalism and knowledge of how to succeed in the lubricant industry in Asia. The team on the subcommittee works with outside organizations to develop certification courses, general education, training and workshops. And then we'll also work if a member company has a request or would like some consulting, the subcommittee looks at ways we can accomplish that to again help improve the performance of the committee and just expand the number of resources that are available to member companies. I think one of the great examples is the program that was conducted nearly a year ago. It was our 2-day ALMU lubricant fundamental course. We had 46 participants from all around the region, many different countries and companies who actively participated. And from what I understand, it was a success and a lot of good contribution occurred between member companies, not only the coursework that was conducted during that session. The committee's been busy working with other outside associations to develop new training. The first one listed here is a joint effort between the Shanghai Lubricant Trade Association and ALMU to develop a 2-day joint certification course that will be conducted in Mandarin in Shanghai sometime in mid-March of 2021. Additionally, we are working with STLE in the US, exploring ways that we can collaborate and develop cooperative education, including potentially discounted fees for members to attend STLE courses and or customized courses for members that would be conducted in Asia. We have some specific training plans that will happen over the next year. The first scheduled one is on March 8th in Bangkok, and that will focus on industrial oils and fluids. We have another 2-day fundamental training course that will be a hybrid of classroom and online training that will happen in the second quarter of 2021. We have a 5-day professional certification course, again in a hybrid format that I think will be common as we develop these sessions, that will have some component that is an online training and then another component that will be in person to kind of maximize the learning for participants. And then we're also working with an India Trade Association to schedule a 2-day event in India. So with that, I'll turn back over to Sharmini, who's the chairman of the Governance, Best Practice, and International Relations Committee.
Thank you, David. So we've got a couple of, so within the governance subcommittee, we've got Mr. Paul from Lubrizol, Mr. Cool for MGL, Ms. Holly, who's with the Independent Lubricant Manufacturers Association, and Ms. Beth, who's from Hangsterfest Inc. And I'd like to thank them for their invaluable support and contribution for the white papers that we're working on within this committee. Now, very quickly, I'd like to take this opportunity to share with the association what we're up to. The first white paper that we're working on focuses on counterfeit lubricants in Asia. It's been co-authored by ALMU and Klein Group. We've had an extensive amount of contribution from ALMU members, which has been invaluable. The objective of the paper is to develop a document that will enable us to undertake advocacy work in the future to address the challenges that members typically face with regards to counterfeit lubricants within Asia. We do plan to review and present the paper during the forthcoming ALMU meeting and global leadership meeting in March 2021 in Bangkok, Thailand. The second paper is focused on highway commercial vehicle lubricant quality within key Asian markets. Again, this is being co-authored by ALMU and Lubrizol. It's still very early days with regards to the paper. There is a survey that will be conducted within the membership, and we hope to get your support when the survey is launched. And this ties in with issues relating to improving lubricant quality and also addressing issues relating to the environment. Thank you. I'll now hand this over to Dr. Gupta, who's the chair for Technology and Information Subcommittee. Over to you, Dr. Gupta.
Hello, can you change the slide?
We can hear you, Dr. Gupta.
Yeah. I thank for my earlier committee chairman, Mr. Winston, and the team to tone for various activities for this subcommittee. And all our members have actively participated in the long couple of discussions and have come up with certain plans which go hand in hand with some of the other committee activities. The last committee has a white paper on electric vehicles. This has been led by Mr. Paul Nye of Lubrizol Additives, and then a white paper has been prepared, and this will be presented formally in the Global Leadership Summit March 2021 in Bangkok, and I hope by the time we will be all meeting in person. And this white paper is already available for the members at the ALMU website under the members only category. So we will be taking up such initiatives so that we can bring some kind of technology leads for the benefit of the member. In the committee, we have members from various geographies as well as people with working in different product lines in lubricant sector, either it is automotive lubricants, fluids, and additive technology. And we also have some member Ms. Poli Alfano from ILMA. So we will get benefit from the wide experience of these members. We have taken up 4 lead activities which we would like to do. As Chairman Mr. Paikok mentioned, sustainable lubricants and sustainable activities is the key to really take up, because this is a global need where we work on how to dispose the best practices in terms of developing the products, environmentally acceptable lubricants, best practices, how to minimize the carbon footprint and bring products that are not hazardous for the users. What are the standards, various specifications, and best practices across the world. Today, with the global pandemic arena, the food delivery is becoming a key. So the need and the scope of food lubricants is also increasing. And also, re-refined oils is one key subject which is already there in the North American and European market, but it is catching up in Asia Pacific region, because there is need to really use these re-refined oils. So what are the various types of standards and guidelines? Second thing is how to improve the knowledge sharing among the members of ALMU, and in terms of what are the changes that are happening in Industry 4.0. No longer it is only the product, the way we use various advanced techniques to improve the way we serve and keep the upkeep of machines. For example, what are the practices that are coming in condition monitoring? Are there doing predictive maintenance? Sensors that will give us the real-time status of the machine. How we conduct loop survey, how we manage our loop management. This is one area where it will benefit a lot of independent lubricant manufacturers to understand the best practices, to serve, to understand the requirements of the customer, and how we can use artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics. We would be talking to various group members and the best practices they have that they can be shown to members. The third activity, thanks to some of the member suggestions, to use the laboratory services of the members who have good facilities which can be used by other ALMU members. maybe at a good discount to ALMU members. We are going to collect the information about the people who can offer the type of testing parameters and support in terms of this we can do initially. Start maybe interlaboratory correlation and then look at facilities that can be used among the members. And further, in line with other committee, can we really bring in more knowledge sharing activities on technical topics? See, for example, today AdBlue for Euro 6 is really many people must have implemented, but there are a lot of other aspects of AdBlue just apart from manufacturing. What can happen and so how to really look at total management of AdBlue? Say ISO 17025. These are very, very important for best practices in laboratory testing, reliability, readability. Similarly, what's happening in the safety data sheets, because in the GHS arena, though it has been there in practice since January 2015, but still there is a long way. Maybe we can bring some experts to talk about how to prepare SDs and what are the do's and don'ts. What are the technologies? I think today the maximum changes that are happening is because of the EV that is coming, whether we believe it or not, but already they're taking a lot of traction. The way the type of lubricants are going to change, the standards are coming up currently. Even OEM requirements in terms of fuel economy as well as emissions. So a lot of changes that are coming. We will bring in more experts, ALMU members or from outside expert, so that this can benefit ALU members in terms of takeaway on the technology and information arena. Thank you very much. Like this. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kut.
May I request Alex to present our event activities? Thank you. Alex, forward to you.
Yep, thank you. For the event and activity subcommittee, so I have to thanks for all the early subcommittee. So the new term gonna have myself and Mr. from from Bangladesh, Miss Bernadette from the Philippines, and Miss Kaya from PSP. Next, please. What you see for the previous year, what we activity, we have on March, we have the ALMU annual meeting. We set up in Singapore, and on the September, we also have the fundamental course. We also held in Singapore. During September, we have to event together with dinner and also digital roundtable and plan tour together at the same time in Singapore also. And for this year, 2020, so we have the program of the webinar that start from April, continue us to now on September. Basis of the start from the product basis. Start from basics metal vacuum fit, and later we go to the base oil market, and also for the lubricant formulation and branding, and also further to EV technologies, and on August or the engine coolants. For the future upcoming activity, we categorize in 5 groups. The first one, we put in the first 2 we session on the sharing session with a new one that we plan to do for this term. The first one start from the industry and for the government and the supplier sharing session. And the second one gonna be for the member-to-member sharing session. We're gonna be totally support at the beginning from Ms. Mia also at the membership subcommittee to initiate this kind of the activity. The third one for the webinar, we still continuous for what we are doing now for this year, because at the trend of the things that we can communicate with all the members. So the plan, the idea we might have like for industrial gear oil, sustainability, additive for metal working fluid, and total solar. And the fourth activity that we postpone on the industrial event. So the annual meeting 2021, we gonna postpone from this year at the condition. So it's gonna be held in Bangkok around March. And another activity we plan to have 2 days, metal working fluids symposium. And according to the fifth one that is presented from the Mr. David already for the professional development subcommittee. So we still continue for this kind of activities, start from like on-site and off-site for industrial oil fluid training in Bangkok during the annual meeting. And we still have the plan for today's fundamental training course. And another one is 2 days certification course, which is LTA, and 5-day professional certificate course, and 2-day education in India. Mostly of the program we can coordinate together with the professional development subcommittee, membership subcommittee, and together with the technology and information subcommittee. So that's all the plan from the ENA. Yeah, please hand over to Chairman Mr. Paikok. Thank you very much.
Thank you all the subcommittees for preparing and developing these activities. I'm very sure that all our members will be excited to participate, and your support to participate in all these activities are vital for us to know that this is exactly what you need, your customers' needs, and for you to face all the challenges that you will be in the future. Now we have come to the last part of the town hall meeting, is the Q&A. So the floor is open. We will take questions that you can either you can post it on the chat so that we can see how best we can address your concerns or your proposals. I believe we have one question, so I just wait for Scarlett to post it.
Chairman Paikok, we have one question. I already put it in the chat box.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to read it out?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. The web-based member networking forum. Okay. So can I ask the membership to help me to answer this, please?
Yes, thank you, Paikok. So the ALMU website, it'll provide different chat rooms for networking, and it will accommodate different interest groups, such as the technical group, operation and supply chain, and business groups as well. We do encourage discussion between members, and as mentioned earlier, active contributors will be rewarded with rewards points. So this is something that we would strongly encourage for active participation.
Thank you, Shamini. We encourage you to ask questions. We have time. It's only 11:43, and we still have a good 20 to 30 minutes. So since all the council members are here, our founding directors are here, so I think it's good opportunity for us to exchange some of your suggestions, things that you would like us to do more, or your concerns.
Sorry, I'm Kiko Franchini from Infinium. I was interested in hearing whether we reach out, and maybe we've done it in the past, and I'm a junior attendees here, but whether we have engaged the players in the industry by asking them what they want to see from LMU and what could be the key contribution that they are seeking. I mean, do we go out with a survey? Do we go out with investigation on what matters the industry and what will make their active participation relevant into what are our activities?
Thank you, Kiko. Yes, there was a survey done, I believe, in 2018. I'll let the secretary to confirm for me. And we have the council has taken another look at the list of the items that the members I hope your question is about the member survey. Yes, we did that. So we are now working with a different subcommittee to see what are the outstanding items that we've yet to fulfill their needs. So this requires a further discussion with the people who posted their request in the survey. So Scarlett, can I confirm that they were
Yes.
done in 2018?
You're right, Chairman, you're right. It's done in 2018, end of 2018. The survey.
Okay.
So my suggestion, so it's all good, and that covers for sure the members bit. I was wondering whether we should be reaching out also those who are not members but could be interested, because what I'm reading amongst the line in the presentation that we have seen so far is that we are trying to attract more people. So we should, on one side, stimulate the loyalty of those who are members already. Fine, that's one thing. But how do we get the others on board with LMU? I think it's a key activity that maybe we should be focusing on.
Okay, we will take your suggestions. Yes, if in the pillar, one of the 4 pillars I mentioned earlier, I said we are growing the membership from 130 to 200. That's our target for the next 2 years. In order to do that, obviously we need to develop some programs and activities that we're able to attract them. So this is part and parcel of the work, but we will take note of your suggestion. Thank you.
Chairman, we have a question from Bernie.
How would a member trigger the request for consultancy from other members? Is direct member-to-member commission encouraged, or does this have to be through the Secretariat? My personal thought is we have this network platform, so I think it's really open out to the big family of ALMU members. You do not have to come to the Secretariat for everything that you want to do, but whatever materials that developed by the ALMU, whether it's by subcommittees or consultancy, yes, for that part, in order to obtain those informations, whether in soft or hard copy, that part I would prefer. In fact, I insist that this has to go through the ALMU for us to manage the control and copyright. But otherwise, member-to-member communication is encouraged because we have this network platform. We publish in the website who are the members. So I hope I answered the question. Anybody from council member, the founding directors, please help me if you want to add some other points. Yeah, somebody want to say something? Due, is it? I cannot see. Yes.
Paikok, I mean, I can maybe add something, but yes, of course, what you're saying is as far as I understand it, exactly the intent. We encourage member-to-member communication. It's a great question, but that's exactly what Sharmini was explaining. Obviously, the website was upgraded earlier this year, and there are some features or whatever that need to be fully implemented. But from the point of view of what the intent is, yes, it's certainly member to member. The Secretariat, of course, is there to help if there are issues. But if member to member contact can be made readily enough through the website, then that's the intent. If there are issues and contacting a member, then I'm sure Scarlett would agree, the Secretariat's there to help as needed. I trust that helps.
Okay, good. Thank you, Steve.
My name is Yuming. Can I ask a question? Paikok Yuming from also one of the council members. I'm not sure whether there are similar organizations outside Asia Pacific, like maybe in the US or the Americas or Europe? And would there be any interactions with there that's worthy so that we can learn from one another? And also, basically, I think with regulations, for example, we see some of these economies, certainly in Europe, they are slightly ahead of us. So is there any learnings that we can have? I'm not sure this interactions will be useful. That's something that I think maybe also learn from them. How do they, engage their members and all this? I think these are also learnings. Just a suggestion for you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Yu Ming. Yes, I think if you look at the association member list, we do have some similar, if not identical, members that operating in outside Asia. I know of the UK, Europe, and America. So we will reach out to them to, as suggested, how can we best learn the best practices. I guess that's what you wanted to suggest. And how do we interact, and what are the things that we can learn from each other.
Yep. Thanks. Thank you.
Sorry.
Come forward with more questions. Yes.
Sorry, this is Shamini speaking. Pycock, just a thought for consideration on the back of the suggestion that was raised just now about connecting with other similar associations. It might be one where at the next annual meeting to invite one or two of them to give a presentation on a certain topic. That could be one starting point from a best practice sharing point of view. It could be virtual if travel restrictions are still very much in place. Maybe that's another way to get around that. But just a thought.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Any other people?
Yes, this is Steve again. Yes, indeed, Shamini again. At the founding meeting in Macau and at the annual general meeting, there were participants from the affiliates. We have the special affiliate category, and indeed, all the work that went in that Vicky did mostly to pre-work before the ALMU was founded, called upon the association in Europe and the association in the US, because those associations have been up and running for such a long while now. But yeah, it's a good idea. Everybody's always invited, including our affiliate members, and there's a lot of learning going on both ways, I guess. People learning a bit about Asia and the best practices that have proved workable in the US and Europe have been discussed in the past. Sort of thing. Okay.
Yes, Chairman Pycock, maybe I can also add that for the 2021 meeting, we have actually invited to make a presentation ATL, which represents the lubricant technical community in Europe, and also the American Petroleum Institute to talk about the recent ILSAC JF6 licensing. So we're constantly getting people on board who have something very topical to share. And this year, last year, we actually had presentations from UEIL, the lubricant union representing Europe, and also ILMA representing the independents in the United States, as well as the Shanghai Trade Association. Thank you.
Wow, very good. Thank you, Vicky, for this extra information. It just pointed to us that in order for us to speak at a larger voice, we need to really grow our membership base. So I really count on everyone, not only in this meeting. Thank you for attending again, but also reach out to others. That's why we have all the programs to help you to help us to recruit more memberships so that we can represent the voice of the Asia in terms of lubricants activities. Okay, next question, please. Okay, can I exchange member referral program reward to another type of reward? Shamini, can you help me on this?
Yes, happy to do that, Chairman. So the short answer is yes. If you don't need the 20% off membership discount, you can exchange it to access your webinar with the equal value. For example, if you're an independent manufacturer and you bring in one new member within the same category, that entitles you or makes you eligible to a 20% discount of the membership fee, which is equal to $300 US dollars, and the typically amounts to, and that equates to 15 tickets for the webinars, the training webinars.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So you can help us to get the members, the more ways you can utilize the rewards. So if you can manage to get 5 in the year that we mentioned, then actually have a renewal for free, or you can exchange it for other rewards. Thank you, Samin. I'm looking at the screen, but all right.
While
As
we're
I say,
waiting for a question to come in, Aikok, I might just add that a lot of work has been done over the last 2 years under Dr. Ho's stewardship to bring in the groups within China, some of whom are attending the meeting. If I look at the membership list, look at the attendee list. And that coordination, I think, is something that's going to grow. I mean, you've seen that there'll be a meeting in Shanghai, I think it's next March. So, you know, that is one of the sort of areas of the future about coordination of affiliates as opposed to learning from best practices of the past. I don't know what anybody else wants to comment.
Yeah, agreed, Steve. And then China, as we said, we will make the necessary translation in order to reach out to the people operating in China. That will be a huge market for us to tap on and share best practices. Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, this is David, and yeah, I'll echo Steve's comments. Obviously, with the professional development subcommittee, it's important to work with these other associations, including the Shanghai Lubricant Trade Association, and then also the Society for Tribiologists and Lubrication Engineers in the U.S. To share best practices, to develop training courses for our members, and we'll obviously continue to do that and work with other associations. We're currently reaching out to one of the associations in India to see how we might work together to tailor information for that market and then share best practices with the other regions.
Thank you. Thank you, David. I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes to see any more questions. Otherwise, I will not hold back everyone. Okay, I saw. Are there any commitments or targets or sustainability that ALMU is set to achieve, such as carbon footprint levels and reduction in emissions levels? Steve, maybe you can help me on this.
So the question was, are there any commitments on sustainability?
Yep.
Well, essentially, the theme of the upcoming conference, and I'm sure Vicky can add something here, is on this sustainability as it applies to the lubes business. And when we launched when the website was updated, one of the first things we did was include an ALMU sustainability statement, really the people leading this are our larger members, the majors, and coming along not far behind national oil companies. And basically, they represent clients for a good proportion of our members. But Vicky, if you're on, can you come in here and say a bit more about the conference?
Hi, Steve. Yes. So we had planned to have the meeting, obviously, this year in March, and because of COVID-19, we had to postpone the meeting for March 2021. Right from the onset, we had set a theme of sustainability of lubricants for that meeting, and we have actually invited industry thought leaders to talk about sustainability. If you go to our website, you would see the preliminary program of who will be speaking at that meeting. But just to give highlights, we actually published the sustainability statement for ALMU sometime, I believe, in August. And that is also now available on the website. Taking from there, some of the actions that we're taking is as a prelude to the 2021 meeting, we actually have a workshop or a webinar scheduled on October 28 in the evening, Singapore time, where we will have 3 speakers on sustainability. Following up on that would be, of course, the annual meeting in March. That would be March 9 to 10. We have a full day program talking about sustainability. I think one of the things that's always important when you set targets is you have to know how much emissions are actually being produced by the industry in Asia. So I think there's a lot of preliminary work that needs to be done within the industry, not only by major players, but also by small ones. And I think in that case, ALMU will play a very critical role in being kind of the bridge among all these groups to gather all of that data. And we've actually been talking about this in terms of sponsorship, how we can get such a big project launched. So I think it'll be a very interesting 2 years to see, where we can take it from there. But the conversation has started and it will continue. I think way beyond 2030, definitely for us. I hope that gives you a big picture of how big the task is.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Steve.
Chairman, can I add on the sustainability?
Sure.
Yes, in one of the conferences that we have conducted last year in India and the NLGA, what we did for the conference is we calculated the total carbon footprint, and to that extent we have planted so many trees, and we given a small money to the NGO there, and we have planted an equivalent number of trees, and it was very well appreciated. It has really shown the way because we have calculated the whole participants, travel, everything. We calculated the carbon footprint, the total emissions, and we converted it into number of trees. Maybe that could be one small way where we can look at our future conference at ALMU. It is so easy and economical to do.
Okay, good. Yeah, we will
Yes.
tap on that whenever we're preparing for the coming event. But on the council member side, actually, we do the conference and meeting. I think we'll probably need to look at the resources that we need. Somebody who will be part of the ALMU to focus on this topic. I think it is an investment that requires some resources. That's why we require more people to join us so that we have the ability to engage even beyond the council members or the industry to go and somebody working on this on the, well, we will call it full time, but at least the substantial time of this person to help us to develop this. Is this a topic that we really need to address while we are working on the day-to-day issues. Okay. I'm happy that this sustainability question been asked. Thank you. Maybe we have one or maximum two more questions. No. Okay, there's no time constraint, but I will really encourage you all to exchange. Even you're not asking question, you could just give your comments and suggestions. You're most welcome. Please. Scarlett, any more questions that you have from your side?
Am I not at the moment?
Okay.
Or if you everyone, if you like, if you can raise your hand, and then we can just enable your mic, if that's easier.
Okay. So can I take it that we have answered all the questions that you have for today in this virtual town hall meeting? I have not seen any raised hand or any question posted on the chat. Okay, I think we can proceed to close this virtual town hall meeting. But before that, can I invite Vicky and Steve to say a few words before I wrap it up?
Ladies first, Vicky.
Okay. I think the only thing that I'd like to conclude with is I really applaud the work that's been done by all the volunteers of ALMU, especially our leaders, our council members, and our subcommittee members. I'm amazed how much we can accomplish virtually. So I think definitely the platform appears to be very effective in getting people to work together. And also wish to thank our secretariat for making all this possible. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Vicky. I'd add my thanks to Chairman Tan and indeed to the groundwork that's been put in over the past few years under Chairman Ho's watch. This virtual meeting, first time we've done anything quite so big virtually. I'm sure they'll get better, and I'm sure there'll be more questions as we continue. Yeah, I think it's largely gone very well, and I'd encourage people to go to the website and use it, use the members section, etc. The more people that use it, the better it's going to get. And as we've talked, we've got improvements made, and it's a lot than it was in the past, and there's more we can do with it. So yeah, I congratulate the people who do all the work, the subcommittees, and the secretariat, and thank our chairman, thank our council. That's great, very good.
Yeah, thank you, Vicky and Steve. Yeah, I'd like to echo what they just said, but not to repeat it. Yes, thank you to all the subcommittees who have spent time in preparing and discussed and make the proposals, and to Scarlett and Kai Fong to make this possible by contacting all the members. But most importantly, thank all of you who are able to join us this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you are. It is really important for us to keep the communication open, the channels, and I hope that what you have heard this morning, presented by all the subcommittees, is something that you like and they're able to meet your needs, and most important, your customers' needs, and as well the challenges that you will face in the future. And we cannot do without your support. You need to come back and join us, come back and tell us how to do better, tell us what you need, and you can either contact all the council members, myself, the founding directors, or even the secretaries. So with this, we say thank you again, thank you to everyone, and you have a good week ahead. Bye-bye.